Is Snohomish, Washington a good place to live? Is Snohomish a safe place to live? What is it like to actually live in Snohomish? If you've wondered about any of these topics, we're going to answer them right now and much more. Depending on where you live in Snohomish, it can look and feel very different. We basically have three different kinds of areas where you can settle down. One is rural, one is historical downtown, which is kind of what everybody sees when you Google Snohomish, Washington. And then we also have kind of the unincorporated Snohomish, which is a little bit of in between. Living in more of the rural part of Snohomish, you can expect housing from anywhere from farmland to larger lots, and these typically do not have a homeowners association unless it's within a gated community or a developed housing area. Living within the city of Snohomish, which is the more of the traditional downtown, it definitely has a convenience of being walkable to the downtown Snohomish area, which has a lot of activities for residents, such as the farmers market, and they have different events throughout the year. Living in the unincorporated part of Snohomish can definitely have its pros and cons. The biggest thing is the zoning and regulations of how the neighborhoods are maintained, which can actually have a potential of a decrease in your property value. In Snohomish, you really do have options of your setting, from the traditional suburban neighborhoods to working farmland to beautiful custom-built luxury homes with that country feel, to even charming turn-of-the-century style houses, up to even brand new construction. One thing to watch out for in the Snohomish area is making sure that you are not buying a property that's within a flood zone. And if you are fine with that, you just want to make sure what kind of flood zone it is and that you can afford the appropriate flood insurance. If local schools and how they are performing is important to you, definitely going to want to find out more about the local schools. The schools within Snohomish fall in the Snohomish School District, and it's coming as a A- on niche.com. Good news if you're part of the Snohomish School District, because the overall graduation rate is higher than the overall Washington State graduation Snohomish rate. School District, we are coming in at 89% overall graduation rate versus 82.3% for the state. According to bestplaces.net, Snohomish is coming in way lower than the national average for violent crimes. Now, as far as property crimes, it's the reverse. Snohomish has a way higher rate of property crimes within the area, as really does the whole state of Washington. So just remember that if you're going to be living in the state of Washington, it's always really important to lock up your car. You want to make sure that you're doing as much as you can so you're not one of those statistics. Whether you are living in the unincorporated Snohomish or the downtown historical Snohomish or even the rural Snohomish, there's always some sort of amenity like a grocery store, gas station, Costco that's going to be at least 15 to 20 minutes away from you, if not closer. Most things are actually within 15 minutes. And if you are living in that main downtown Snohomish area, there are a couple shops that you can walk to. Grocery stores, though, is a little questionable. It just depends on where you live if you are within walking distance of a grocery store. Most residents around here are car dependent. This is the Bickford area, which has the bigger chain type restaurants and shopping like Kohl's and Blazing Onion and things like that, and a big Home Depot. And it also leads off to Highway 9, which is the main highway here, and it takes you back to downtown Snohomish. We're at the post office right here, and Hagen, which is a little further down the road off of Avenue D. And coming up Avenue D, you can see right here, this is where the traditional homes are with the local Snohomish High School as well. Leaving the downtown Snohomish area and heading back towards the unincorporated Snohomish area, you have to cross over the Snohomish River over the bridge and then also the train tracks, which sometimes you will get stuck at the train crossing. And if you've heard any overhead airplanes during this video, it is because we do have a small local airfield right here, Harvey Airport. And so that's just kind of life in Snohomish. So if you do not like airplanes or trains, you might want to double check to see what you can and cannot hear at a property that you are considering making your next home. This new construction area is a hotly contested development that is turning 31 acres into what is going to be known as Cathcart Crossing. From the latest I have read, this will include 286 townhomes, a park and ride, storage units, as well as a fast food establishment. I am putting up maps right now of what the commute is like if you are going anywhere from maybe downtown Seattle or Bellevue or Microsoft, something like that. Right now you can see on the map that it is at a peak time of commuting. The traffic level is actually quite low today, so it's kind of a smooth commute on the day that I'm mapping this. But you always have your certain bottleneck areas that are highlighted in that yellow or orange. You are commuting from downtown Seattle, you can go across I-90, the floating bridge, or 520, which is a toll bridge, and go up 405 that way as well. Although the main area of Snohomish isn't very large, there are a lot of fun things to do around here for entertainment-wise. There are community events that go on, and like I've mentioned before, the farmers market. There are also a lot of fun restaurants in the downtown part of Snohomish that has live music, as well as the driving range and the Snohomish golf course. And the ever classic picture of Snohomish in everyone's mind, if you ever have Googled Snohomish, Washington, is the hot air balloon. And there's also the Centennial Trail, which allows lots of freedom for biking, rollerblading, walking your dog, just about anything you want for exercise here. And of course, grabbing a coffee right here at one of the local coffee shops and just taking a little stroll by the river. Whether you're ready to move now or maybe even 6 months from now, make sure you reach out at the number below, either text or call, and we'll be sure to set up your customized home search plan. And as always, I look forward to connecting with you and helping you figure out what's your next move and in your new community.